All right. So per usual, let's start with some shout outs and recognition. And then I've asked Dawn and Melva to do a brief share on just some epiphanies that are going on in their businesses. And then my goal tonight was really to bring up the whiteboard and do an overview for you guys on how to calculate cycles, how to like actually put numbers behind goals. And so that's where we're going to spend our time, as long as the baby doesn't continue screaming. So having said that, I've got some notes here. The first huge shout out that I want to give personally is to Dawn Turner for fearlessly running our Getting Uncomfortable and fearlessly running our opportunity overview last week. You guys, it's all about getting uncomfortable and just owning it and doing it. And Dawn's never done one of our Get overviews in the evening before. She works full time. She was with her boss all day that day. And she owned it and said, I'm doing this because she wanted to get uncomfortable. She wants to lead with the business. She is leading with the business. And Dawn, I know I was I was in the Keys at like a drag show at that point. I wasn't even on the call because I was on vacation. And this is all about leverage, like taking turns, leveraging each other. And so I wasn't even able to attend. But the last I heard, you may have even had to take the call from your car because she had a dinner that night at work, right? So let me manage everybody. So, I just want to give you a huge shout out, Dawn, for like walking the walk, talking the talk, and just showing up and making no excuses. Absolutely no excuses. She is super busy, and she's making this work in the pockets of her time and leading in the pockets of her time. And it's Eric Worre. You guys hear me say this all the time, but he who holds the pen makes the money. It is so true. Until you own the pen and start talking this stuff out loud, you're not going to be making a lot of money. That's all there is to it, whether you're leading with a product or you're leading with a business. If you can't hold the pen and break down to people this compensation model, don't expect to recruit business builders, right? Would you listen to you? Would you listen to someone about earning an income if you had no idea how it actually worked? You're not going to recruit people for the business if you don't understand it, right? So my point is just huge shout out to Dawn for being like putting a stake in the ground and saying, look, I'm doing it, I'm owning it, and I'm leading this. Just send me the deck. And a huge shout out to Nicoletta too, because Nicoletta has said, send me the deck, I'll study it, I'll learn it, and I'll do it. And she's got like a baby in the hopper, and she's a full-time physician. So we're all full-time something. So huge shout out there. Real quick, I see that Melba's on too. I'm just gonna huge shout outs here. So to Terry has just been crushing enrollments this past week and really over the month. I don't know where her number is now, but she's just, her energy and her excitement and what she's doing with this is just incredible. And Melva is just absolutely lit up on fire. Massive enrollments this week. Her husband is at 19 cycles. Would love to hear after your calls tonight, Melva, if you're able to put him over the fence and hit 2-star tonight. That would just be absolutely outrageous. So this is a husband-wife duo, just like Jake and I. They both have positions on the team, and he potentially could make $1,000 in cycles. Well, he will make $1,000 in cycles tonight, and could hit 2-star. So huge shout out to Leon, because I think we may hear his name rank advancing to 2-star. That's her husband. And then I wanted to give a shout out to all of those of you who leveraged the promo that I offered last week for 2 days. This goes to Christy. It also goes to Marcy, Louisa, Jenny, Blady, and Kim. All of you guys leveraged my promo. And I'll be paying those out tomorrow. I do them all at one time so I can put them on an Excel spreadsheet for tax purposes. So I'm very organized. I don't like doing them ad hoc. So huge shout out to you guys for leveraging that. I think that was the shout outs for me. Any other shout outs from the team before we turn over to Dawn and then Melva for just their insights this past week? Good. All right. So let me, without further ado, Dawn and I just had some interesting conversations last week. And, you know, we're all growing our businesses. We're all at different stages in our business. And we've evolved in different ways and different times. You know, I'm seeing Melva explode right now and the energy that's within her and the tactics that she's discovered. I'm seeing, you know, Dawn kind of find her niche and her space and what's working for her. And your business explodes when it's supposed to. The residual income starts to come in when it's supposed to. And, you know, Dawn's been, you know, at this for 4 years. She's been aggressively pursuing the business for maybe a year. But I think, Dawn, you've had kind of a flip of a switch and kind of mindset and how you're doing this now, right? And so I wanted her to share with you guys because she's finally experiencing the momentum. She's finally experiencing, we were on the phone last week. She's like, oh my God, like I hit 5 cycles this week and I haven't enrolled a single person. Like, holy crap, you know? She's like, I'm like depositing thousands of dollars into my bank account, you know, monthly. And my husband's like, where, you know, where's this coming from? And so I want to highlight you guys at all stages of the growth of your business, because Dawn, her business it's brewing, right? And she can feel it and she can see it, and it's got her really excited. So Dawn, I just wanted you to speak to that for a couple minutes to the team. Just your insights and kind of of kind of where your business is going and how exciting the residual income is.
Thank you. Just don't mind me. This is like the workout weekend kind of girl going on here. So I want to be very vulnerable that I wanted to grow a business. And of course I wanted the financial opportunity, but I wasn't putting in the work. So I wasn't getting it because I wasn't open to, well, I wouldn't say I wasn't open. I just wasn't prioritizing and making the time to learn it. So I think that's really important. One of the big things that I realized is that I had the confidence in the product. I had the confidence in my health transformation, but I didn't have the confidence in myself to be able to, you know, grow a business. This is huge. So that whole mindset, when people start talking about, you know, the mindset work and what you need to do, it really is true. You need to really work on yourself. So I started to really listen, and it's just this weird, like I'm a person. I'm starting to really understand what people are talking about. So Susan and her verbiage, when she did the pen, like, game on, sister. And I really, for the first time in 4 years, I get up and I'm like, totally engaged. I want to do Isagenix. I'm not irritated. Sorry if anybody works with me, but I'm irritated to have the time that I have to go to work that I can't do Isagenix. And the air in the starting deal is resonating with those around me. So another thing that I'm doing, I'm talking about products. I'm like, they work. I've been doing them for 4 years. If you want to learn about it, I'll send you a video. Let's talk about the financial opportunity. Do you have any idea what the cash flow quadrant is? And I'm passionate all the time because, so now I'm getting fired up, you can tell. But I really feel like I've been part of the asset. You're supposed to trade time for money. That's the way everyone's supposed to do it, because people want to keep us in that 95% of the force with 5% of the wealth. I'm done with that. I am moving over to the other side, and I figured it out. So it can't just be me doing it, to be a team and a group. So when they really say, would you like 100% of your own efforts or 1% of thousands of people's efforts? That's exactly what I'm starting to experience. So speaking to that business and financial opportunity, people are seeing my confidence because it's starting to come. You know, the financial system role, which is phenomenal. I've built a huge business on my team side and have all this volume just for years and have tapped into it because I wasn't open to really prioritizing Isagenix. And now I'm open to it and it started to work. So that's what you wanted me to share. It's just, you need to have confidence and you need to speak it. And you just need to be just boom, up front, no bait and switch. Don't start talking about the whole transformation. And then the business opportunity, lead with the business, man. I'm telling you, it's just beautiful. Anyway,
Oh, whoops, that was muted. I love it, Dawn. Thank you for sharing. Well, and I think it's important to underscore your journey. You know, there's moments when you've been all in, and then there's moments where you've had just like life circumstance where you've had to pull away, whether it was family or career. And you're still here and you're plugging away and you're starting to see it explode. It's like the perfect storm, you know? And so it's just really exciting. And that's why I wanted her to speak. So thank you for sharing, Dawn. I want to move to Melva now because I'm curious myself. Melva's kind of found her groove, and she's really, as far as from a connecting standpoint, has figured out some processes that are working for her. And I asked her to just share this evening for a couple of minutes. Now, Melva is very tech savvy. And so I'll put that out in the forefront. Her entire team is. So Katie and Nicoletta, who are both on the line, who are millennials, they all connected through social media and just being tech savvy chicks. So I think there's a lot that we can learn from these girls. So Melva, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you, Dawn. I love your energy and your presentation. I'm loving it because I'm at that year mark, and I think there's something about it. There's this initial excitement. Thank you for asking me to speak. There's this initial excitement when you come in, you learn the business, but once you've been here for a while, you want to hit. You got to go back and change something up. And for me, the changes that you're seeing are from my husband, who's sitting right across from me. If he tells you what my problem was from the last time I hit this like this, because he has literally watched me. Leon, want to put him on the spot? But he's the secret behind how what did we just bring in? 6 people in the last 3 days? So you say everybody, I don't know if you met her, but they can't see your head.
Hey, Leon.
I want to sit down. So for a period of time, when we initially signed up with Isagenix, it was like we were just on fire. It was everybody that we met, came across, we would share, friends, family, and so on. And what we had came to realize is that our friends signed up friends, business partners. Our family is our business partner, is our family, not necessarily our business partner. Mm-hmm. And so we needed more people. And so we went on a journey 3 years ago in Ohio of trying to figure out how to do it on the internet. And every time we would go to someone and say, hey, do this, X, Y, and Z. And no matter how much we told them what we were looking for, everybody would just try to sell us on whatever it is they were, whatever vision thought that they had for Melva. And so she really just got stuck in a cycle for the last few years of just, and every possible when it comes to marketing or anything about the internet now, it's a breeze. She sucked up the information, but it wasn't propelling us forward in the business we initially. So I just finally said that, hey, babe, these people are just selling you, constantly selling. They really don't have any vested interest in your success after you purchase their product. Of course, they would tell you that, but I said, building up to a certain point of whatever it is they were selling, and then we hit that wall, and they weren't able to get us past that wall. We started with a program. We just kept getting 75% of the way there, 75% of the way, and then finally last weekend, exactly from said, let's just do it. Let's run some ads, and so we ran some ads, came up with a good concept. And just on fire all week, pretty much calls just about her schedule's just jam-packed with just people saying, hey, what are you guys doing? And we took the just, hey, they need to make some extra money. I'm not sure if you guys saw the ad at some point, but we just took a business approach. And half of the time when we get people on the phone, don't even know what business we're selling, what are we talking about? Half of it is, what are you selling? And so we've basically just been trying to see at what are you guys, what are you in? What is it that you're looking for? And for everyone who got on the phone and said, we don't like sales, well, okay, so what product are we selling? You see us anything? And so then we was able to work them over and say, okay, we're in sales, we're in Isagenix, and forward from there. A humbling week to say that, to see that all of the work that she put in has paid off, because when we did run that, all the calls started coming in. I think we're at a point of 20 cents per link click.
26 cents, yeah. Average is good, or maybe 5 emails.
And we're not just getting emails, we're getting phone numbers. And people are actually taking this time out and booking an appointment, and for the most part, running 5 appointment rate where people make an appointment.
I could show the video. It's 37 seconds. It's crazy. I don't know if anybody wants to see it, but Leon, can I share my screen? Is that the
if you go down to the bottom, you should be able to hit the green button, share.
Okay, give me one. Let me just, you can talk about. Hold on.
And so the point of this ad is we just wanted to just grab some people's attention, and then with a level to make an impression, just to introduce herself, so to speak.
Hold on one second. Let me share at the bottom. It's right?
Yes, that's
okay. Can you see my screen?
Yep.
Okay. Hold on. Can you hear? Hey, I'm Dr. Melba, board-certified radiation oncologist, wife, and mom of 3. I help women have the courage to have a big financial and resource partner with. To learn more, click the link in my bio below.
So that was basically just a little fun. It captured some attention, but it gave her the opportunity to introduce herself. And that's all you need sometimes, just the opportunity to introduce yourself. And then from there, people will go on your page, book an appointment.
We're like 13,000 views right now.
But we're getting a lot of views and a reaction. And from there, we can get on and just talk about whatever we like to talk about. And then it's been a couple people where we just said, hey, we don't think this is going to be a good fit. Just from whatever the reason was, we just didn't feel it on the phone. Like, didn't even present the opportunity, didn't even get close to, just weren't going to be our type of people. Like, we're not forcing anything, we're just letting it flow. And we ended up with 6 enrollments, 3 or 4 potentially follow-ups to where they're saying, okay, I get paid on Wednesday, I get paid on Friday, or, something to that effect. But, we just have to see how they can go, and,
And they didn't, I think, for like the 5 enrollments, so 1 was under you. Out of the 5 enrollments, never even saw the Isagenix site. Never saw the products. It was like Dawn was saying, the products work. We've done them for 4 years. Our whole family wants them. 17 years, $7 billion. You trust us enough that we're going to get you to where you want to go. You want strawberry or vanilla? Do you have any allergies? Boom, I'm gonna get you started with what's your goal. Literally, I got it down to the point like Susan Miller was saying, what's your goal? You got a weight loss goal, stress, anti-aging, or performance. Okay, workout. Okay, started with some performance products. I put together 100, we did 100 BV, so this wasn't like value pack. Mm-hmm. Boom, boom, what you got? Okay, what's your number? Okay. Like, never even sight. This old people. And the crazy part, like, I'm a little emotional because I've been trying to keep Leon here, and I kept pushing him away from the business because I didn't listen. And he's watched me struggle, is what he's trying to tell you. So I was like, when I share what we're doing tonight, it's a whole long story behind this. So this isn't overnight. I was at the wall, and I'm really good at helping other people make money. And those of you who work with me know that I'm good at that. But I had a block. I would self-sabotage. I couldn't figure out why. And it's because of overwhelm and all the classes and, really the fear of how much success. Like right now, if we didn't have automation, there's a way that we could have a balanced life to keep 15-minute appointments. So all of that scheduling was automated. I didn't do it automated. And there should be some automated follow-up. We didn't expect it to take this way last day. So we never even finished all the automation that we need. And like, we didn't even make a link to the products or until like we had a person on the phone. So I just took the information and then like figured out what the hell I was going to do with it, to be honest. And this is what we heard. Like we got to the point, I remember one person was like, what do I do next? Just give you my credit card? Well, yeah, you just give me your credit card. And then like it got easier. Is it MasterCard or Visa? And I was using like Jennifer's saying, and then it was, we get a couple people, like we probably have a solid 2 or 3 where they're like, okay, I just want to look at the website first. But other people, the product or company didn't matter. It was us. And I brought Leon in to close as a validation for at least 3 or 4 of them.
Yeah, just about 3 or 4. Part was that we talked about the automation that we're working towards with the team that we're building right now. I think that'll make it easy because initially you got all that equipment and then it fades. You want to find new people. You're going to need new blood. And so that's part of what we're telling people is that once you're in the system and we help you with the ads and help you get set up with your automation, then from there, when you slow down, the automation will keep going. Yeah. And we'll ask people, hey, can you tell your story? Can you say, hey, just say hypothetically, a divorced woman, single mom, tired of working, need more time for their kids, and was just burnt out until I met, let's say, Dr. Melva. And the plan she helped me work on is do something as simple as that is what we ask some of the women. Like whatever story that they gave us, we pretty much gave it back to them in a short ad. And just about everybody said, yeah, I can make a video and say that. And then once you can make that simple video and say that, do you have $5? Do you have $10 just to advertise it? And then from there, just watch the leads come in. And so that's basically what we talked to them about. And not only that, that allowed us to say, hey, we got a little automation program on top. And if you can pay this little extra on top, we get the automation up and that'll cover our advertising budget. And so once that cover our advertising budget, if we have 10 to 15 people that's doing the same thing, now we got 10 to 15 people that's actually advertising their business, which in turn is advertising our business. So our advertising budget just increased to 10 people.
Double. We doubled in half. Like I think we only spent we got to maybe $200. It's not much. And we've had over, what are we at, like 600 link clicks or something on that video. And with that, we paid for our advertising. Yeah, we almost quadrupled our advertising. And now we have budget for the other part. But even if you don't advertise, like I think if you're not at that point yet, because again, we've been doing this for a long time and it's an embarrassing number, but I've invested over $150,000 in all these courses. And my goal was to max out an Isagenix Center and learn. And like you said, everybody wanted to come milk my brand. And that's what people will do with they see, but my brand is more than a cancer doctor. And those of you who worked with me for a while, I'm good with tech, I'm good with money, servant heart, like the two of us together are a thing, like a brand, and that attracts people. So that struggle of getting through, like, Melissa and I, we had tons of talks, like, what is my brand? And based on people that come to you, by the second day of doing this, I knew the story. I knew where people were 15 minutes and I was able to close. I knew who was ready or who was not. And I asked like up front, how much do you have to invest in yourself and your business to make this change? We did like dream session, kind of like Rudy almost, where it was like, Isagenix isn't I think a lot of people personally get stuck at through. Network marketing is a weird that can set you free. But it's through, not to. It's not always the destination. You use it, you build it up as an income producing activity, but what do you really want to do? Like, what's your passion? Like us, we're in where we're under contract with 2 or 3, I can't keep up, but 2 or 3 franchises right now in the quick serve industry. Invested with Susan Sly's Artificial Intelligence. We got it in the friends and family round. Network marketing is to teach you the skills so you can grow, but also stream on what you want to do. And I think our point was, you could be with any company, and you've probably heard of them, but the reason we're with this one is Sue Miller company, right product, the right compensation plan. And we have 4 years of saying that. So we didn't get in the details of how the money was made because it didn't matter. It was.
We didn't go over the compensation plan. We just stuck to the point that it's a lot of companies out there that you can make money with, but you need to be with a team that's actually growing. You need to be with somebody who's can show you a vision of where it is you're trying to go to. And so we found that was most important. We have one time this week that we pull it out. I'm not saying it's gonna work for everybody, but
right.
Not one time.
And what is that? It's that confidence. So I think, I'm sorry, I know Melissa, you wanted me to talk about the 30-second story. So the 30-second story, so basically the way we started out the calls, we kind of need a checklist because it was almost like once you've done these so much, and I guess there is a checklist, but basically I needed to know up front, hey, what about ad had you? And some people, I don't really know why the hell I called you, but you were just so daggone excited. I was like, I want whatever you want. Like, you got, how do I get that? Or either like, never really made a product, but you look like you like, first I thought you were somebody's daughter and they got in a car and then I realized you were Dr. Melva. And then other people were like, if you see a doctor like that and they're that excited at the end, I want to do the same thing. Or I would get, what was another thing somebody told me? They were like, I don't really know. I want to talk to you and whatever. I mean, like, basically it was me. They didn't know what it was. And then we had one young lady, just phenomenal 28-year-old who's driven, is like, she's like developed her own app with movement and it's on the market and our business strategy relationship. She's for that net and she does performance and they have like their own gym. Are you kidding me? And her husband is a certified personal trainer. That's exactly who I want. And she's a millennial. So over there with like me and Nicoletta. And it's just, I don't know if I can explain it. So basically the 30-second story modification was, I started out, this helpful with talking?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I started out and it was, I mean, pretty much I need to know because these people, I don't know, this is the cold market, right? I didn't know any of these people before I got on the phone with them. So it was, how old are you? Married, single, divorced. People to, and then if you're a divorced and single mom, like, is there somebody else that's the decision maker? Because at first it was like single mom, but I didn't mean there wasn't a man in the house or whatever. Sometimes, whatever. And then it was like, how old are you? If you do have kids, how old are they? Like, whose financial responsibility you have? I went through that. And then it was like, what does it do? And, like, why'd you call? So I'd get into the pain points like really quickly. So a lot of people had been like laid off and they'd switch jobs or move. And we had demographics all over the country. Like, I think we enrolled somebody today from North Dakota. I've never been to Fargo. Mississippi, Texas, Alabama, people with accents like from Louisiana. And I was just working with them. And then I wanted to know if they'd done network marketing before or any businesses. And then the dream, like, what's your default now? Is it the money, is the time, the freedom, basically? Because it's going to be the same for everybody. And then it was, have you ever done any business or have you of a business? The imagination. This is like the neuro-linguistic programming, right? Imagine if money or time or thing, whatever, wasn't a thing, what would you be doing? And a lot of people had an idea, okay, we're dreaming to do that. And then what would not be able to happen if that wasn't true for you? So we get to that. And then before it was like, can I tell you about myself and see if you're interested in, if I present, so one, ask, are you the primary decision maker? Or is there someone else that you need to talk to? If we present a solution to you that gets you to this dream point, financial point, are you able to make a decision today? Or is there someone else that we need to have on the phone at the time? Because at this point, we have so many leads. I'm not on for like, I literally, if somebody didn't show up, call, whatever, I got like 16 more booked. And literally while we've been on the phone talking to you guys, I probably got another 3 It's like ding, ding, ding. So you become not attached to the outcome when you put yourself out there. So we did that. The goals, who's the decision maker? And Leon put me through this. I didn't feel very comfortable at all, but by the second or third call, it became clear that this like video and our creativity was happening. And it was just like, you need to ask them, how much money do they have to invest in their business? Basically. So if I present you with an offer and you're able to make a decision, so what you're doing is you're getting the objection out. So we had people to be like, well, you know, I've saved up like $2,000. So we're like, oh, good. Cause we're just bringing them in at like, you know, 400, like, or whatever, like less than 500, depending on the pack and our product that we offered them advertising. And then other people would be like, well, I don't know. It really depends on what you're going to get me. And I would have to push these women because I don't know them. So I'm not losing anything, right? It's not like my friend, family. Give me a number. I got the confidence. You can see talking to me, the confidence is very different. Like this is confidence built up from a long time and maybe some pressure from that. But it was, give me a number. How much can you invest? So then when they gave us a number, we knew like somebody who had savings 2,000, money wasn't going to be an objection. She said she's the primary decision maker. So at that, she's just not really interested. So we don't have to waste our time. So we found out how much they are willing to invest. And most people, the numbers were there. And if we got somebody who didn't have money and they were going to drive, it's like you said, we didn't present the offer. So then I shared a little bit of my 30-second story. And what I did, and I don't know that I was going 9 miles per hour those on the call Thursday. So I'm a little bit more calm, but we just got off a call at 8:30. So it's been a lot because I'm an empath, so I take in a lot of people's stories. So I had to like deep breathe before I came back to you. But the story was, I don't know if anybody can this, but you can become unrelatable. So like some of you, when we showed that ad, that might be like totally, oh my God, they did an ad. I don't know anything about that. I don't want to spend any money on an ad. I'm supposed to be doing this. So depending on your comfortable and your success level, you can become unrelatable. And it's easy for those of us who have advanced degrees or we've had a lot of success in other things. So what we were doing and what I was doing was putting myself back to where their pain point was at their age or wherever they were in the decision and relating where I was at that point, connecting to my story now. And if I couldn't relate to them, I brought in a story. Like Katie knows, she's right. I think Nicolana too, and my husband's an introvert. So I was able to kind of talk about them when it talked about introverts because I'm not an introvert expert. You know what I'm saying? But I talk about other people on my team. So to be more relatable, it's kind of like, you know, I think this is from Susan Sly, like what you can't see. Yes, but what you can't see now is when I was your age at 28, I remember it because we just got married. We were putting pennies together. And that's when we decided we weren't going to do that anymore. Fast forward to now, we're giving back, helping people. So anybody can modify your story with a friend. And I think like the age, the time point, because being unrelatable, duplicatable for success, people have to feel like you know what it was like, right? Mm-hmm. And that's difficult to do with different people because we people who like this. One of the girls is from Costa Rica. She's in her, I think she's like 4 weeks from having a child. She recently divorced or separated. I know she was like a single mom. She was working security midnight to 8 and she had missed her call. But I text everybody, say, hey, is this a good time for your call? And I'm doing that manually. And she called me back and she's like, I'm sorry, I was asleep because she's working like 2 and 3 jobs and she's pregnant and she ended up in one of the best calls. So when I say not to be attached to the outcome and just to believe that this is possible, you have to do that because she was so excited and she signed up on the spot. For her Redding, I kind of just mentioned to her what the new mom bundle was, but I didn't want to put her over that 100 spot. So I'm just like mixing stuff that I think is the best for her. And she literally was like, I really hope this is the best financial friendship that I've ever had. And I'll tell you another thing that kept me going and Leon going and me pulling him in is I got one of the responses to the ad and it just makes me a little emotional sharing it because I don't know that this person ever scheduled or that I got back to them, but they said they responded to the ad and they said, teach me how to stop existing and start living again.
Wow.
And you think about that, people are looking for what all of you have, and these 5-6 enrollments that we're putting in, it took a long time to get to that point, to get to the confidence. But what people are saying is they don't need the details. Right. It doesn't matter. They need to know that you are. They need to know that you have success, credibility, that you're listening to them. So like my notes are crazy, and I have this on everybody, and I haven't like put them in our automation system. So I got to stop talking and do that, because I don't know who I enrolled, who's following up. Like it's somewhere. Asana, but you know, like baby. Having it's like, Asana. Yeah, I'm not supposed to be like right. So I have Asana and I have Infusionsoft, but like for me to really listen and to close that many people fast, I just needed, because it was back to back, because we were doing this in the pockets of our time and full-time jobs. So
20 calls.
We put in at least 20 calls this week. So I had one lady though, and I was a little disappointed. And Leon was like, "What is wrong with you?" And she wanted to do it. She got there, and originally she wanted to do it on Friday, and I was kind of telling her, and she was going to put it in, and we got all the information. She's like, Visa. And then she told me her phone died, and her phone died. She never called back. So I was like, maybe she didn't have it. And he was like, "Are you serious? Seriously going to be like disappointed?" So,
you know what though? 6 enrollments out of 20 complete strangers, cold market in 1 week. That statistically, that is really good. That is really good. I mean, you guys are smashing it. So you're finding your groove, right? And so it's like you said a minute ago though, Melva, it's like there are 300 ways so far to make $1 million in Isagenix, right? And it really, no Isagenix millionaire has done it the same. But the reason I wanted Melva to share tonight is because she's been on this track her and Leon have been on this track for like 3 or 4 years, and she's had this vision of how she really wanted to do it. And I feel like you've ultimately cracked the code, right? And we all get to a place where we crack our code, just like Dawn has cracked her code, and it's a completely different code than Melva's, right? But I wanted Melva and Leon to share tonight because some of you guys are super techie. And some of you may want to look into some of this technology and automation. I know I'm picking their brains on some of the automation piece because I am working the masses in LinkedIn and I'm finding it hard. I need some automation myself. Those of you that are very new to this, I wouldn't even worry about dealing with automation because you have a warm market to get through first, like don't overwhelm with a bunch of technology when you just need to get through your warm market first, right? But I am so excited. And Leon, I love seeing your face right there beside Melva. And I really just appreciate your support and confidence in her. And I just love that you guys are a power team together, and I can't wait to see you guys walk across stage as Isagenix millionaires, and I know you are. And you guys bring so much value to the team. So just huge kudos. More to come. And the thing is, what Melva's doing, no doubt, Nicoletta and Katie are going to be duplicating because they are just super savvy in that sense, and you're going to see them blowing up too. And it's so much fun. Awesome. Okay. Oh, I think that's my husband. It's not a stranger. Is that you, Jake? Okay. Phew. Okay.
To Katie too, I've already done it, but we have Katie from Hong Kong. She's able to join. We haven't seen her. And Dr. Nicoletta, which you've already, and I think we saw an appearance from Eddie too, right? Was that Eddie popping on? Yeah. So thanks all for coming.
Yes. Incredible. All right. It's in where you left it. It's in the kitchen. My husband left today without his phone. He's been gone all day. Okay. So thank you so much for sharing. Keep us abreast. I know I'm going to want to be picking your brain even more. Super, super exciting. So now let me exit out of my full screen here. Oh, wait a minute. I promised you guys that I was going to do some cycle calculations. People are wondering, how do I take a financial goal or a value and create milestones? Like I hear a lot of people say, oh, I want to be 2-star, or I'm going to hit, I'm going to crush 3-star by December. And I even used to say that when I first started. Well, many of you have heard my story. Like for a year, I said I was going to go from 2-star to 3-star, and I just wrote 3-star on a Post-it note and like had it all over the house and thought that somehow that was just going to manifest my business into 3-star because it was on Post-it notes everywhere. But if you were to ask me what I needed to do to grow my business of critical mass, of volume running through my center from 2 to 3 star, I didn't actually know. And when I sat down and did the math, all of a sudden it hit me square in the face that, wow, I'm not going to be able to get to 3 star just recruiting people on my own. Like, to go from 20 cycles a week to 40 cycles a week, you're doubling your volume. And if you start breaking down what that equates to enrollments from like value packs or 30-day packs, you realize that you have to leverage and you have to create your own leaders within your organization if those numbers of stars is where you want to go. Now, some folks on the call maybe just want their products paid for, or want a residual income of $20,000 to $50,000 a year. And that's awesome. I'm just going to give you guys an example of how to start doing the math and figuring it out. So what I did finally, when I found out I was pregnant, I was like, wow, okay, I officially need to be making a lot more money than I'm making right now. And I need to figure out how to get there. And so it wasn't until I really owned this business and said, okay, what is 4 star? Okay, it's 60 cycles. And between 4 star and 5 star is 60 cycles to 100 cycles a week, right? So, what does that look like in my business to get my center and volume there? And then it's not enough to just say, oh, I want to be 4 star by August 2017. Because I think that sometimes if you just have one big, massive goal at the end of the year and you haven't figured out how to work backwards and create some milestones to measure, are you on track? I think that's where people get lost. That's where I got lost, because I said, I'm going to hit 3 star by this date. But I had no way of tracking month by month, was I growing my business in the direction and at the speed that I needed to in order to hit that star at the end of the year, right? So if you're not creating milestones, then how do you know? And also, when you don't want to just celebrate at the end of the year, right? You want to be able to celebrate the milestones along the way, that you are on your way, right? That it's encouraging, that you're crushing your goals and you're getting there, or that you need to pull up your big girl panties and get moving because it ain't growing the way you planned for it to grow, right? So what I'm going to do here is I'd like to... let's see, Melva, are you still sharing your screen? I don't think you are. Oh, here we go. So I'm gonna just kind of write. I'm kind of new to this technology, but I'm gonna try this. I'm not gonna hit advanced because I'll probably really get lost. All right, do you guys see this little whiteboard here? Okay, so I'm just gonna do. What I want to do is I want you guys to unmute yourselves, because I'm going to ask some questions and I want you to pipe in, people who've kind of studied the comp model, and because this is like class, right? So my first question is, what is, from a BV standpoint, business volume, what does one cycle equate to? This is profit sharing for the company. The company says this amount of volume has run through your business center, and it's actually 6% of their profit that they're going to give you. So what is one cycle? How much business volume has to run through a center? Who's going to answer? 900, right? That's right. So this is profit sharing at its finest, right? Company gives you, and how much is it? How much do they give you for that one cycle?
$54. 54.
That's right. $54, right? So it's also 6% of their profit. So this is important, guys. You know how I was saying at the beginning of the call, if you don't know this business and you can't articulate it like a business owner, you can't recruit business builders. People aren't going, and so learn it and speak it. Okay, so who knows? So I think this is a good goal for a lot of people on the call. So I'm going to go with 2 star. I'm going to do a 2 star calculation, and we're just going to work through this. And I'm happy to do one-on-one coaching on this as well, but I wanted to give an example tonight. So let's say your goal in the next 6 months is to grow your business to 2 star. By the way, any of you can do that. I don't care where you are positioned on what team. you can get there. It's a matter of getting to exec and being paid as exec and teaching 2 other people how to get to exec too. 1 on your right, 1 on your left. If you can do that, you can get to 2-star, okay? I did it, Christine did it, Melda did it, and then it's a matter of maintaining it, right? So what is 2-star? So how many cycles do you need to hit 2-star in 1 week? Yep, 20 cycles. Yep. So 20 cycles, I didn't do this math. 20 cycles times 54 is, we'll just say 3,000. No, that's not right. Hang on a second. 20 times 54 is 1,000. It's
1,080.
Yep, it's $1,080. I think this is a really great per week. Who could use an extra $1,000 a week?
Me.
That's $4,000 a month, right? Again, I'm using this example because it's tangible. Guys, I did this in a year, less than a year with Isagenix while working full time with 2 kids, okay? I hit 2-star in less than a year, okay? You just need to know the numbers and understand it. So a 2-star is 20 cycles. Okay, now the question is, so you have 2 legs. Everybody has 2 teams to build, right? You've got a focus leg and you have a team leg. Now, remember that 900 BV that we talked about that the company pays you out on up here, right? It's split up, right? So how much BV out of that 900 for each cycle comes from your focus leg?
300.
That's right, 300. Who said that? Giving you guys gold stars. All of you. Okay, so your team leg, so you have to have 900 to cycle. So your team leg, how much BV's left do you have to for the profit share? 600, right? So this BV value, right? So the total, see if I can put a little line here. You guys can tell this is not my expertise, but he who holds the pen, right? All right, 900 BV. So that is 900 BV. You've got a focus leg, you've got a team leg. So 300 BV comes from one side, 600 comes from the other. That's going to give you 1 cycle. So if you're going to grow to 2-star, which is 20 cycles, how much BV per month, how much BV per week is that? So 20 cycles per week, I'm just going to go ahead and tell you guys, it's 18,000 BV. And this is where I want to get real with you guys, because this is where if you're saying I'm going to hit 2-star, you need to know that that means 18,000 business volume is running through your center, 2/3 binary compensation model, 1/3 from one side, 2/3 from the other is moving through your center in 1 week. And when it runs through your center in 1 week, the company takes that 18,000 BV out of your center, takes it out of my center every week and says, thanks for that 18,000 BV back. Here's your $1,000 for those 20 cycles. Now, so if you break that down into a 2/3 binary compensation model, and this is where I just want you guys to get some perspective on volume that runs through. That means that 6,000, what is it? 6,000 BV would come from one side and 12,000 from the other, right? So now, so what does that mean? How much BV, so this is a long math problem, but I'm giving you guys perspective on this. How much BV is in a value pack? Does anybody know?
Ready?
320.
That's
320.
right. Who said that? Got this male who keeps popping in and he's answering everything. Who are you? I'm loving this. Is that Leon?
That's Leon.
I love it. Leon, you got to join the calls more often. Okay. So it's 320 BV for a value pack, right? Now, I'm not great at math, but if I take 6,000 and I divide it by, I'm going to say 300 just to keep the math easy. How many value packs is that in a week? It's 20. It's 20 value packs in 1 week that runs through your center, okay? Now, if you're doing the 100 BV approach, which is a great place to be driving a business, you just have to understand it's 3 times the work to get that to that 6,000 BV, right? So if you're putting in value packs at 300 BV a pop, then it's 3 times more volume per enrollment when you first get started. However, Susan Miller and I have agreed upon this. In the long term, it's the recurring customer that pays your residual. That 300 BV, when someone comes in and buys a value pack at the beginning, that's a one-time purchase, right? So it's really kind of an inflation on your cycles for the week, because when they come back the next month, they're just going to order probably close to the minimum requirement. So like the whole strategy that Leon and Melva are taking with getting people in on 100 BV, the key is you just want a lot of people ordering a little bit, right? And if you've got a lot of people ordering a little bit with a low buy-in, you're still going to create the mass consumption of that 18,000 BV per month. However, don't discredit the value of a value pack, because I've led with the value pack for 4 years and my team tends to duplicate that. And when you're leading with the value pack with people who have the purchasing power and are ready to invest, go for it, because your team and your growth, you're going to grow exponentially faster. We had a time last year, you guys, when I hit 4-star last year, in 1 week, our team collectively put 48 brand new value packs in. 48 all in 1 week. And it drove me to 4-star. But the reason I'm putting pen to paper here and drawing this out for you guys is because when you say, I want to go 2-star, I want you to know that means you need to be moving 18,000 BV per week to get that kind of profit share, right? Now, the thing is, it's leveraged, right? All of you come from a team where you are sharing volume, right? So everything that we're talking about right now, I'm saying you have to move 18,000 BV. Well, the reality is your collective team has to move 18,000 BV per week, right? It's not just you. And the more that you recruit, that they recruit, and the more that we recruit, and the more we duplicate, it becomes, like Melva said, it's 1% of your effort instead of 100% of your effort. Because the more humans that you have eating and consuming and sharing these products and simply teaching them how to just be consultants to eat for free, it's such a simple model that's duplicatable. All of a sudden, that 18,000 BV a week becomes really attainable, right? So then let's do some math. And as far as breaking down milestones, and I think that I've probably gotten pretty heavy into compensation model at 9:30 on a Sunday night. But let's talk about creating milestones, right? So let's say you want to hit 20 cycles, and let's say you want to grow to 27 cycles in 7 months. I think this is a great goal. I think actually you could smash it in less than that if you wanted, but if you wanted to crush 27 cycles or 20 cycles in 7 months, the key is, what I did is I took the value, take the number 20 and count backwards, right? So that if you have 1, 2, 3, 4, my screen's going to hide, 5, 6, 7. You're not going to be able to see that. Hang on one second. There we go. And you count backwards and you say, okay, well, at month 7, actually, the way I did the math, you'd be at 21 cycles if your goal was to grow your business by 3 cycles per month, okay? So what that means is that if you give yourself a milestone for growth, you'd want 18 by the 6th month. You'd want 15 by the 5th month. You'd want 12 by the 4th month. So just follow me on this journey for a minute because we're going to do some math. And this is applicable to whatever your goals are. This might be 5-star. You might want 100 cycles, and that is awesome. Let's get on the phone and talk about it. I'm just giving you a simple math problem that you can apply any cycle goal to and work backwards. I did this with 60 cycles working backwards and created milestones for myself for increments each month to get myself there, okay? So let's say right now you're not cycling at all. Let's say you're not hitting, most of you are probably cycling once or twice at least a month because you're paid as consultant, you have shared team, and you have volume moving through your center. So it's not a far stretch to say that between now and next month, you can't be driving enough volume to see 3 cycles a week come through your business center. But what does that mean? What does 3 cycles a week actually mean in volume? If I could spell, what 3 cycles a week actually means is 900 BV, right? Because 1 per cycle, 900 BV times 3, right? So what you need to see this month is you need to see weekly a bump in your volume additional to where you are today. You want to see a bump in volume by 2,700. You want to see a bump in volume on your team leg and on your focus leg with a total of 2,700 above your baseline today weekly in order to grow yourself to 3 cycles a week. How does that look? It could be, what could that look like? It could literally be 27 enrollments on 100, hang on a second. It could be 27 enrollments on 100 BV packs. Or if you're leading with value packs, it could be simple math, 9 value packs. So there's a big difference between 9 value packs and 27 100 BV packs. The reality is you're going to have a hodgepodge, a mixture, and it's not just going to be you, right? It's going to be the team that you bring in, the team that we're bringing in that you're attached to, and the people that haven't even manifested into your organization yet that will come in because of the people you bring in, because that's the power of word of mouth. So is this making sense to you guys? I know it's like a lot of math, but what I want to share with you is that in summary, what I would do, I challenge every single one of you on this call to ask yourself, what are my financial goals in the next 12 months with Isagenix? What number of cycles, and maybe you don't even know what cycles mean, and that's great. Ask yourself, how much money on a weekly basis do I want to be making with Isagenix? And then you can work backwards by looking at the value of a cycle, which is $54. So all you have to do is, let's say your goal over the next year is to make $100,000 a year. Well, then you want to divide that, by 54, and let's see. If you want to make $100,000 a year, divide that by, I kind of do funny math. I divide that by 12 months, right? So it's 8,333 a month. Or actually, hang on a second, not to confuse you guys, but I would just divide it by 52. So $100,000 divided by 52 weeks is $1,900 a week. Well, what's $1,900 from a cycle standpoint? $1,900 divided by 54 is 35 cycles, okay? So 35, write it down. If you want to be making 6 figures in a year, you want to be hitting at least 35 cycles a week on average. So take that number, and say, well, if I want to be at 35 cycles by the end of the year, what is a comfortable, aggressive pace at which I can grow to 35 cycles? Maybe you take 35 cycles and you divide it by 12 months. And maybe on a monthly basis, you want to grow by 3 cycles a week. 3 cycles a month. And get yourself to 35 cycles. Is this making sense? I know it's a lot to digest, but I really want you guys to understand. I want you to own your business. I want you to understand what cycles mean. I want you to own the milestones that you can measure yourself and know that it's achievable. And know that you're not doing it alone, that you're even though you're creating these cycle goals for yourself, and you may look at this daunting number and say, oh my God, 3 cycles is the equivalent of 27 100 BV packs, or it's the equivalent of 9 value packs. The reality is you're not in it alone, right? It's the effort of the collective team that's putting in this volume daily. And you guys are seeing and feeling the momentum of this team, right? Okay, I'm going to shut up. It's late. What questions do you guys have? Because I've just kind of thrown up on you. And
I have a question, Melissa.
Yeah, go for it, Terry.
Okay, so you said this week that I cycled 3 times, right?
That's right.
So can you tell what percentage of that was me and what percentage was like the team coming up? Because as you know, I'm still a consultant, so I haven't I put one person in who added 2 people, so I put one person a consultant, but I just didn't know if you knew that.
Yeah, so let's do some math. So you put one person in, and how much, what pack did they come in on?
I put that particular person I put in on a value pack.
Okay, so 320 BV. Okay, did you put them on your focus leg or your team leg?
Focus leg.
Okay, so you already have bank volume on your team leg for sure. So hang on a second. Let me do this. Focus. Okay. All right. And then that person, and you said it, and then that person put in 2 people?
Yeah.
And what packs did they put in?
One was a pack. I forget. It was like, was over $300, the pack.
Okay.
For sure.
So we'll just say like,
it was like 100 something.
150 BV.
The other person.
Okay. And then what did the other person put in?
So the one pack came to over 300. And then the other pack came to probably $150.
$150?
So probably total it was around like probably total their 2 orders were around 550, I would say.
Okay. So you can quickly see
the 2 orders that I put in.
3, 4, 5. We'll just, I'll just, for easy math, we'll just say this was a total of 600 BV. And that was on your focus. Now, this is what I want you guys to keep in mind. Most of you are on a team leg that's collecting some amount of volume. If you go into your back office, there's one leg that you are attached to a team. And there's some level of volume because there's shared recruitment going on. And so, Terry, what's going on here is that your team...
Now, I put a lot on my team.
Right.
Now, I put a lot under my team, though, this week as well.
Okay. So that's where you're
6 or 7 addition. Yeah, like another 5, probably another 5 or 6 people I enrolled on the team leg.
Okay. And about how much volume do you think out of all those enrollments, if you had to just round out a guesstimate of how much BV total out of those?
Well, sure. I put, let's see, one was a value pack, and then I sold like probably 3 of the healthy everyday packs, which I really like. So those are like at 100, a little over 100 BV. Mm-hmm. And then I put a few people on just some regular random products, but they came in at 100 BV. They just weren't packed.
Okay, so we'll just,
So
for fun, we'll just put that. And then you're on a leg shared with Dawn and with Christy. So what's happening over here that you don't see is that, let me make a little draw. So this is Terry's Business Center, right? And so everybody's got these. You've got this is Terry, and she's got a focus leg and a team leg. The thing is, above Terry is Dawn. Dawn enrolled Terry, right? And so Terry's on a team leg. Dawn also enrolled Christy, right? So I don't know exactly who came in first. Doesn't matter. You both share team volume. But let's say Christy came in just over here, right? So what you're not seeing, what's that?
After me.
Okay. So, yeah. So what's happening is, as you're building, Terry, Dawn is still enrolling people. Let me put my text here. Let me put a different, there you go. So Dawn, this is your team leg. Dawn's enrolling people and Christy's enrolling people, right? All in this team leg. Christy's enrolling people who are enrolling people. There's other people on Dawn's team that are enrolling people. You're continuing to enroll people. And these all have a value, whatever they are. Maybe this one was 100 BV. Maybe this one was 150 BV. Maybe this one was 300 BV. And so my point is, this is like when Kristen texted me when she first got started. She's like, oh my gosh, there's someone in my tree and I didn't enroll them. How does that work? I'm like, that's the beauty of leverage. So what's happening, Terry, is that you're benefiting from all this volume that's running and being put into your team leg that you're sharing with everyone else, whether you put it in or not. The system gives you credit for it. And all this volume starts to sum up, right? And so what happens is the company says, all right, Terry, you've got 600 BV on your left, and so we're going to take 300 from your left, your focus, and we're going to take 600 from your right, because remember, that creates the 900 BV, and they say, here's one cycle. Oh, look, now you still have 300 left on your focus leg, so we're going to take that, and we're going to take another 600 from your team leg for a total of 900. We'll take that, allow you to profit share, and give you another $54. Clearly, you had more than 600 BV on your focus leg this week. You had at least 900, which created the 3 cycles, because most people's rate limiting factor for cycles is their focus leg. What amount of volume is coming through their focus leg to allow them to cycle? Does that make sense?
Okay. So
Now,
if I can figure out, so if we figure out my focus leg, and what I put in and what I've got going through it, we can figure out what, if I did 3 cycles, what must have been on the other side then, in addition to what I put in, right? Is that right? Is that what you're saying?
yeah, well, and I could even do, like, I'm happy to do a coaching call where we look into your back office. We can look at your volume and analyze it. But at the end of the day, yes, the system will only allow you to cycle if you have volume on both legs. So what can happen to some people?
Yeah, and I do. I have a really good steady. I've got really good on both legs. I mean, a couple of people drop, but I keep adding so many more on both sides that I don't know. I've got over 20, I think, on
That's
on
awesome.
both. I've got over 10 on both legs for sure.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Interactive.
So but the bottom line is the system takes 600 from one side and 300 from the other. It actually doesn't even care which side it comes from, not to like make it even more confusing. But at the end of the day, it has to have 300 from one side and 600 from the other side.
At least.
What'll happen sometimes is you'll have someone who's a squatter, where they squat, they get a great position on a team. I've got squatters on my team who came in the first year and they've stayed active consuming the product, and they've got over 1 million BV on their team leg, over 1 million. But they haven't put in a single enrollment on their focus leg. So the system doesn't recognize to cash out to allow you to cycle. And I've told these family members, look, you've got over $100,000 worth of profit share, like sitting in your back office, if I can just show you how to get running over there on that focus leg. But it doesn't, you can have an unlimited amount of volume on a team leg and just be fortunate that you're on a team that's just running. But it's a fair system. It's only going to allow you to cash out if you're at least doing a third of the work, right? Like a third of the volume has to come from that focus leg to allow you to cash out. So clearly your focus leg.
And another.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, and another just really quick question. So since I started, when I first started, I had that really great week as well, or 2 weeks in a row. Mm-hmm. And then I was a little bit quiet for a little bit because I had a bunch of travel and guests and everything else. But I kept cycling even on those weeks.
Yeah.
So that's normal too, that you don't do a thing, but you're gonna still cycle through.
I'm so glad you brought that up. So what happens is that you create residual income for yourself. So what has happened, Terry, is that you've brought in enough customers. So we talked about the cycles, right? So if you're cycling each week, if you look back up here, what's happening is it doesn't take too long to build a business of critical mass that there's enough volume, 900 BV, running through your center on automation. And what I mean by that is that people love the products. There's an 87% chance they're going to reorder. So when you start building a business of mass consumption, over time, Terry, auto ships are just going to go out and the volume's just going to run through your center, not because you enrolled anyone that week, but because there's active consumers who are actively ordering, and the company indefinitely gives you 6% of their profit for every piece of product that is ever ordered by anyone within your business center. And not just you, but remember this scenario with Christy who came in after you and all the people around you that are enrolling? All that volume you get credit for too, right? And so when you start to build a business of critical mass, and that's why I had Dawn speak to it earlier, is that all of a sudden you just start getting paid every week and you have no idea why. You start getting a couple cycles here and there, you start making a couple $100 and you don't know where it's coming from because you haven't enrolled anybody in a month. And that's the make the money while you sleep. That is leverage. That is build it once and get paid for a lifetime. Okay. Do the work once and get paid forever. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So what'll be really fun as you guys are growing your businesses is to be able to show you guys how I pull reports. I pull reports on Sunday nights, and it shows me exactly how much volume is going to ship next week in my center. So I can look and I know without a shadow of a doubt exactly at a minimum how much money I'm going to make next week if I don't do anything. Okay? I've already done the work. This is mass consumption that's going out, right? So I can go in my back office and see what's shipping out. It's usually, at least $2,000 a week worth of volume of pay that I get paid without any growth with the team, without any enrollments, because it's just residual consumption on a weekly basis of 4,000 people in my network. Does that make sense?
Nice. Yes.
And then you just start layering on it and building on it and teaching your team how to do the same thing, right? And occasionally you're going to get a runner, and you get that runner on your team leg or your focus leg, and you start cycling even more. And you're like, holy cow, where's all these cycles coming from? And it's the new fired up person on your team who's throwing all those value packs in on your focus leg. So I don't know about you guys, but that just fires me up. It makes it really hard to sleep at night. We got to stop talking about compensation at bedtime. What other questions do you guys have about this? Those were really good questions, by the way, Terry. I see there's questions in the chat box. Hang on a second.
Hey, did you get my PayPal info?
Oh, I have not checked my messenger yet, but I will. I'm paying everybody for my promos next week on Monday.
Oh, okay, because I sent it through PayPal to your mobile phone.
Oh,
Because I
okay.
didn't know how to do it. I've never done PayPal, and it asked for a phone number.
Huh. Okay. I'll check your message.
So I put your phone number in.
But yeah, I'm paying everybody tomorrow. I do it while I'm in front of an Excel spreadsheet so that I can track all of it for taxes. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Okay. So I see, what is paid as? Okay. So Marcy, that's a great question. So what happens is you grow your business and you rank advanced. So you'll rank advanced to consultant, which you've already done. And then you'll rank advanced to crystal manager, right? And then you'll rank advanced to director. Well, what you'll find is as you move up the ranks, it's kind of like, many people can attest to this. It's kind of like 3 steps forward, 1 step back, 3 steps forward, 1 step back. And what I mean by that is when I hit director, I created 6 consultants and I got my pin level. I got my bonus. I hit crystal director. It was glorious and amazing. And like, I got that title. And then less than a week later, one of my consultants fell out, meaning she lost her consultant status. So then I lost my director status, right? But when you looked in my back office, my highest rank would always like my title. Your title is always recognized by your highest rank, but then you may be paid as manager instead of paid as director. So once you get to director and you're paid as director, you actually get to play in the bonus pools. But you have to be paid as director to get that monthly bonus cash. So it's incentive to stay active. And in order to stay or stay paid as, and in order to stay paid as, you have to ensure that you've always got 6 consultants on deck, which really I suggest you try to make sure you have 8 so that as 1 or 2 teeter-totter and kind of fall out, and Christine, and I know Melva and Dawn can all speak to this. You know, we are, my consultants fluctuate so much that I keep my decks loaded in order to stay paid as. And when you get to executive, the stakes are even higher because as an executive, I actually get paid, what is the percent? It's 10% of all the cycles of my personally enrolled, right? So, you know, like when Jake hit 2-star, he hit 20 cycles that week. I got an additional 2 cycles paid out because he was a personally enrolled of mine. If I hadn't held my status as executive, I wouldn't have gotten the match. It's called cycle matches. So there's a lot of incentive to be paid as certain titles, if that makes sense. But you always are recognized by your highest title achieved. A lot of people will hit executive and then they'll lose the title for a couple weeks. And then Jennifer Bartram can speak to this too. I mean, we all have. And then you climbing back up, trying to get back up to executive. And you get it and then you fall and then you climb and then you finally get over the threshold and you never look back. Any other questions? Let's see. Thank you. I have to head off. Thanks. Download Isopulse. It's easy to see where the volume is correct. Yeah, I agree, Christine. Download Isopulse, Terry, for sure. We can talk about some of this on our trip. I think me and you and Dawn, I don't know if we've talked about it yet. We might be carpooling to Nashville. We can do it over some wine in a hotel.
Yes, I'm so excited.
Okay.
Woohoo.
What other questions do you guys have? This went super late, but I love how engaged you guys are. You guys are like all business, and this is what's going to grow your business. Is it your knowledgeable business owners? Let's see. Stop share. All right. Well, if that's it, I am going to head to bed because I have to get up at 5 a.m. to work out tomorrow because my husband has to leave the house by 6 a.m. All right, guys. Well, have a good evening. Join the call tomorrow morning. You'll hear some of your names called out and go out and crush it. See how many people you can talk about this comp model to this week. And lots of invites for Murray Miller. Get your professionals on the line. He will dazzle them. All right, guys. Good night.